Today's question comes from Jason. He writes, "Hi Matt, I love your products. I've been getting them for years. I want to get your opinion of the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. Is Tyson too old? Has Father Time caught up with him?" Well, Jason, very good question. First of all, let's put the word fight in quotes. What did you think of the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight? Or let's put the words so-called fight in front of it. Boxing is fake, most of it. Not every fight, not all the fights, but when there is someone fighting who is simultaneously promoting, the chances of it being real are slim and none, and Slim just left town. That's first and foremost. Carl Gotch used to tell me that most of Muhammad Ali's fights were fake. Now, I didn't believe it at the time, and I'm not sure I believe it now. But I do believe, based on talking with some other relevant people over the years since Carl told me that there were a number of the bouts that were questionable. And that's hard for me to swallow because I love Muhammad Ali. He's one of my favorite fighters, favorite athletes, favorite celebrities of all times. Muhammad Ali, love that man. But were some of his fights fake? And most people assume that if a fight is fake, that both fighters are in on it. It could be that neither is in on it, and the referees and the judges are the ones who make sure the outcome is what they want. Whether Tyson cannot beat Father Time, or is he just too old, and so on. And that brings up a lot, because if the fight were with the regular gloves and Tyson engaged the way he normally could, and the outcome is not predetermined, well then there's a good chance that the fight would be over within a minute, to be kind. I don't foresee it going 2 rounds, much less 8 or 10, whatever it was. The other part of this is a boxer such as Tyson cannot be expected for his legs to last him a full 8 or 10 rounds if he hasn't been regularly fighting. If you're out of the ring for 20, 30 years, even if you're in really good condition, which he is, I've watched his workouts, they're phenomenal. But there's a difference between practicing and having a competition, a real competition. There's a tremendous difference. You can be in fighting shape. You can box 10 rounds, 2-minute rounds in a row with a minute rest and feel that you're ready. But then when you get into competition, your legs lose their endurance and their strength. Now, what would be the cause of that? Is that Father Time, or is it that he's just not in condition anymore? Well, that could be, but the other factor to consider is what happens to your body if you're nervous. I've seen wrestlers at the collegiate level who were national and then later on even world champions, some of them Olympic champions, who got into a match and were fatigued early on, and these guys were in phenomenal shape. But halfway through the match, they didn't have any wind left, and they didn't gain a second wind. Well, what happened? The athletic trainer who was sitting next to me during one of these bouts, where another competitor who was just unbelievable, all of a sudden he has no gas left, and I'm wondering what's going on. And the trainer, his name was Dan Foster, said he might be nervous. If a fighter is nervous, if he's worried, if he's fearful, if he doesn't sleep the night before a fight because of the nerves and so on, the legs go weak. This is something a lot of people won't tell you, but your kidneys control the strength of your legs. From the lower back down, your kidneys govern that strength. This is one of the reasons in boxing they don't allow kidney punches, because it'll drop someone. The legs will go weak, you'll buckle. But fear and worry and anxiety can also weaken the legs so that you don't have the endurance that you would normally have. This is what can happen when it's a real contest. How do you explain then that Tyson, his legs went weak if he knew the outcome, if it was all scripted and predetermined? Why would his legs go weak? Could be nervous about the crowd. Could be nervous because he hasn't been in an arena for a long, long time. Not saying that's what happened. I'm just letting you know that that is a factor. Father time, I think Tyson's done a great job fighting Father time. And at the end of the day, he got $20 million. So he won. Jake Paul got $40 million. So he won. They both came out winners. But when it comes to the media after the fight, who you want to hear from more? Who you want to interview the most? The guy who's got the most going for him over a long period of time. This is why when Peyton Manning, for example, would lose in a Super Bowl, they would interview the winning quarterback for about 3 minutes, and then Peyton Manning would get interviewed for about 45 minutes. Why? Because he's the bigger draw, he's the bigger name. And that's the way it is with Tyson. So not only does he get his $20 million, but he's probably going to parlay this into a whole lot more. Don't be surprised if there's a fight number 2, a rematch. Don't be surprised, but also realize what the outcome is going to be. Tyson will lose again. I doubt very seriously you're going to bring him in at 59 and now all of a sudden he wins, but that would change it if you do it that way, because it sets up bout number 3. Winner take all. It's a beautiful thing. Like, share, and subscribe, and get ready. In December, I will be coming out with my Warrior Walking program, and it'll give you legs that last for a lifetime. Remember, the legs feed the wolf. You want that hungry wolf? You got to be able to get after it. You need to have different ways to walk to give you power.